Let me tell you something interesting. You already know that almost 70% of the Earth's surface is covered by water, while the remaining portion is land where humans and other creatures live. But have you ever wondered why this land is divided into 7 parts? Why do we call them continents, and how did this idea of 7 great landmasses come into existence? Today, in this episode of history, we will explore this fascinating subject in detail. The word continent itself carries meaning. In simple terms, it refers to a very large piece of land that is surrounded by water. Because of this, our world is commonly said to be divided into 7 continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Europe, Australia, and Antarctica. Together, they form the great land masses of our planet. If we look at it differently, we can also say that the world is mostly water, and these continents are like giant islands floating within the seas and oceans. However, many geographers argue that this idea of 7 continents is not entirely correct. For example, Asia and Europe are connected by land and together are often called Eurasia. Similarly, North America and South America are joined by a narrow strip of land known as the Isthmus of Panama. Because of these connections, some scholars believe there are actually only 5 continents: Africa, Eurasia, the Americas, Antarctica, and Australia. This idea also appears in the Olympic symbol, where the 5 interlocking rings represent the 5 great continents of the world, united together. Now let us talk about these continents one by one. The largest of all is Eurasia, which includes both Asia and Europe. Asia alone is home to nearly 60% of the world's population. Together, Asia and Europe cover almost 1/3 of all the land on Earth. Despite being joined, Europe was considered a separate continent for historical, cultural, and political reasons. Most of the world's oldest civilizations, great empires, and religions were born in Asia, and even today it remains the most populated and diverse region on the planet. After Asia comes Africa, the second largest continent. Africa is often called the cradle of humanity because the earliest human fossils have been discovered here. This continent is full of natural wonders, ranging from the vast Sahara Desert to the dense Congo rainforest, from the Great Nile River to the unique wildlife of the savannas. In eastern Africa, there is a huge geological formation called the Great Rift Valley. It is slowly splitting apart, and scientists believe that in the distant future, it may divide Africa into 2 separate continents. Next comes Antarctica, the coldest and most mysterious continent on Earth. About 98% of its land is covered with thick ice. It has no permanent human population, only scientists and researchers who live in temporary stations. The name Antarctica comes from a Greek word meaning opposite of the Arctic. The icy land was first sighted in 1820 by Russian explorers. Even though it is almost uninhabitable, Antarctica plays a vital role in controlling Earth's climate and ocean systems. Australia is the smallest continent, with a total area of about 8.5 million square kilometers, which is just 2% of the world's total land. But despite being small, it is unique in many ways. Australia is home to animals and plants that are found nowhere else in the world, such as kangaroos and koalas. Its modern cities like Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane are famous globally. Together with nearby islands such as New Guinea, Australia forms the region often called Oceania. Now let's talk about the Americas. North America and South America together form a vast landmass stretching from the icy Arctic regions to the tropical Amazon rainforest. North America includes powerful nations such as the United States and Canada, along with Mexico. South America is home to Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and many other countries, each with rich cultures and breathtaking landscapes. The name America comes from the Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci, who explained that these new lands were not part of Asia, but a completely different, new world. Europe, though much smaller in size compared to Asia or Africa, has had an enormous impact on world history. From ancient Greece and Rome to the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, and the modern era, Europe has shaped politics, culture, science, and philosophy in countless ways. Many of today's global systems of governance, technology, and trade trace their roots back to Europe. When we look at all of this together, we realize that each continent is not just a piece of land, but a chapter in the grand story of Earth. Asia stands as the birthplace of civilizations and the most populated continent. Africa holds the secrets of human origins and unmatched biodiversity. Antarctica, though frozen and lifeless, safeguards the balance of our planet. Australia is a small but unique world of its own. The Americas stretch from the world's most advanced economies to the deepest rainforests. And Europe has been a powerhouse of culture and innovation for centuries. So friends, these are the continents of our world. Some people say there are 7, while others argue there are 5. But whatever the number, together they make up the home we all share, our planet Earth. This journey across the continents reminds us how diverse and beautiful our world truly is. Every continent has its own history, culture, landscapes, and stories to tell. And when all these parts come together, they form the complete picture of humanity. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating stories from history and geography. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.